Hello, my friends. So I'm outside again because it's spring and I'm so delighted to be outside. I know it's a little windy out here. Maybe I'll shield it with my hands a little bit and hopefully that'll be fine. But I just look at that sky. I just want to be outside. Obviously, it's still cold. So I'm jumping on today to talk about something about Blissipline that I think is really helpful to understand. Blissipline is a doorway into the unique practices that will serve you. And here's what I mean by that. I just laugh at myself when I say things like that, but please ignore me. So you're unique, okay? You're really unique. Your preferences are unique. Your ways of thinking are unique. Your ways of processing are unique. Your trauma is unique, or perhaps non-existent. I doubt it, but you know, however much trauma you have in your life is specific to you. Could be very, very little, could be really a lot. It could be grounded in certain kinds of relationships. It could be grounded in physical pain. So you are unique, and how you need to process things is unique, and what will work best for you, this is really the bottom line, is unique. Okay, so along comes someone and they've got this wonderful method and wonderful technique, and it's worked for them and it's worked for their clients, and now you try and it doesn't freaking work for you, and that's just debilitating and exhausting. But that's okay, because what we're going to do here in Blissipline is we're going to teach you how to listen to yourself, because your unique way is known by the deeper parts of you, okay? It is, I promise you, I promise you, I promise you. Now, here's what I want to say that is an essential element in your discovering this. You must practice something deliberately and consciously. In discipline, we say, in Blissipline, the discipline piece of it is you don't get to just like, I mean, okay, if your life is great and it's chugging along nicely, fine, relax. I trust that. But if it's not, what you're going to do is you're going to reinforce the status quo with your current behavior, because that's how it works. So if it's not, you're going to have to do something different, okay? So in Blissipline, I like to say, you got to rock it till you grok it. If you don't rock it, you don't grok it. You got to rock it till you grok it. We came up with that in one of the classes. It was a combination of, one person said, you got to rock it, and I said, you got to rock it, grok it, and then some third person said, you got to rock it till you grok it. So we got this out of our practicing together. And you are always, always, always practicing something. So what are you practicing? Well, you're probably practicing your default practice, your habit of practice, the way you usually practice. I mean, that's just how it works, right? I mean, my accent that I speak with is the one I'm used to. If I want to have a different accent, I'm going to have to work pretty hard at it. You know, that is our default behavior. Now, in some cases, like our accent, unless it's really problematic for some reason, it's fine. But the default behaviors that we have that are non-beneficial for us are that same level of habit. So we must practice deliberately, consciously new behaviors, because our default behaviors aren't going to create the change we want. That makes sense, right? You know how people say insanity is trying to do the same thing and expect different results. So I don't know if I agree that's a definition of insanity, but we can recognize that makes sense, in the sense that if you try and do the same thing and get different results, it's very unlikely to work, right? So, excuse me, a little bit of breakfast. Hold on. I had an everything bagel. That is a sesame seed right there. So, so with Blissipline, what we're learning how to do is to figure out what works with us. And what I'm here to tell you today is you must practice something in order to discern whether or not it works for you. If you sit there and you go, oh, I don't think that'll work for me, you may be right, you may be wrong, you don't know. But it doesn't matter, because what we do is we listen to things and we read things, and you're gonna, you listen to this video or whatever, and then you think, oh yeah, that makes sense, or I don't agree, or whatever. It doesn't matter. This is all kind of an intellectual exercise. It will not be yours until you do it, until you practice it, and then it becomes yours. Just like everything else, you cannot learn how to really do anything. Play the clarinet, ride a bicycle, drive a car, walk, without doing it. And like little babies, they try and walk, they fall down, they try and walk, they fall down. They don't care. They just enjoy the trying of it. And so Blissipline is a way for us to get back into the enjoying of the trying of it. And the trying of it in Blissipline is inherently better or fun or delightful. And I say better because sometimes it's not fun or delightful. Sometimes it's just a relief. But that's what Blissipline offers us, that the trying stuff, the doing stuff, the daily practices are moving already here and now in the direction of feeling better, and then supporting us in the larger context of having our lives moving in the direction of what we want. All right. Now, this is all kind of vague, like, yeah. We must concretize it by practice. We must concretize it by practice. And I have practiced Blissipline so much now. I founded Blissipline on March 14th, 2015, by mistake, on the only Pi day in my life that would have 2 more digits. And if you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. So, so I started it in 2015 in March, and so we are now in 2023. So I have been deliberately practicing Blissipline consciously for 8 years now, and I'm still just getting better and better and better at it. Literally this morning, I sat and had breakthroughs with my Blissipline partner, who I have talked with 6 days a week since then, almost without fail. So the practice of it, but it's not arduous. It's not arduous like eating isn't arduous, you know? Or anything that you like isn't arduous. If you hate eating and eating is really arduous, from my heart goes out to someone I thought of right now, because I know eating is arduous, you know? And I'm sorry eating is arduous, but it is like, the Blissipline part of eating would be the part that is the least arduous, that provides the most relief. So Blissipline is literally the path of your best feeling, least resistance, most allowing to everything you want. Okay, so this is my little encouragement for practice. Now, what do you practice, right? So that becomes like the $1 million question. If you're recognizing with me that in order to change how you are and what you're doing, you got to practice something different. What do you practice? So this is where it becomes your grand Blissipline experiment. So in May, I'm going to start up again the monthly Blissipline, which we've been doing. But this, I'm going to emphasize much more practice, because honestly, it doesn't matter how long I blather on about things that I know to be true and I've made work for my clients. If you don't experience them, you're just wasting your time, you know, unless you're just having fun. But whatever. The point being that I want you to experience the benefit. And so I'm going to emphasize practice more and more and more. So, and here's the plan for the May Blissipline, and we'll see what happens after that. I'm going to post the videos in a general space like this, where anyone can access them, because I do want people to be able to have a doorway in. But we're going to practice in the Blissipline group. And the reason we're going to do that in there is I can protect that space. Anyone who's a jerk in there, I just kick them right out. They don't get to stay. Delete everything they put, kicked out. We never bought. They're blocked. They can't get in again. And I screen the people who are coming in as best I can. So very rarely do people come in and be jerks in there. So we can go in and really, really, really practice in a safe environment. So we're going to practice in the Blissipline group. And one more thing is, I'm working on putting together a little email list so I can send you the new videos. And I'm going to create a little link for you to sign up for that. But I'm trying to do it in the right way. And so I'm getting my tech people to help me, rather than doing it in another way. I have to transfer it later and blah, blah, blah. So it's not in place yet. But the idea being that I can support you in another way by having a little reminder in your email box, okay? So I'm still not revealing the theme for May, although I know what it is, but it's a really good one. It is the one that transformed my life. This part of Blissipline, I started practicing, hold on, I know exactly when it was. Around 1995, around there. So it's been a long time. I've been practicing this like about 30 years, somewhere in there. Probably more than 30 years now that I think about it. When I started practicing this, it was a doorway to everything I wanted. And so that's what we're going to start with in May. Drum roll. Brrr. We'll see what it is, okay? All right. I love you very, very much. I'm really here for you. Like, let's find a way to make your life first better, secondly really good, third magnificent. Okay?